Samsung's long-anticipated TriFold smartphone is reportedly slated to make its global debut by the end of 2025, with fresh sources claiming it may wear the name Z TriFold, marking its arrival under the existing Galaxy Z series, rather than introducing a new lineup altogether. According to famous journalist Max Jumbo, the triple-screen foldable is expected to adopt the Galaxy Z TriFold moniker. This ties the device with Samsung's established foldable range, alongside the Z Fold and Galaxy Z Flip models, and suggests the company's ambition to combine its multi-form factor smartphones under a single banner. Meanwhile, tipster Ice Universe, writing on Chinese social media platform Weibo, said that Samsung's TriFold phone is set for an October 2025 launch. This timeframe would place it in direct competition with Huawei, whose Mate X-T Ultimate Design successor is expected to be unveiled a month earlier in September. The forthcoming device, codenamed Q7M, is apparently heading towards mass manufacturing and could be launched as a restricted release, according to insiders familiar with the situation. It is claimed to contain the model number SMF 968. One of the primary aspects of the TriFold device is its 9.96-inch display when fully unfolded, delivering a near-tablet experience. In its folded state, the device is projected to offer a 6.54-inch screen, making it usable as a standard smartphone. Internally, the device may be powered by the Snapdragon 8 Elite chipset and is said to have a silicon-carbon battery, a newer technology that potentially promises faster charging and longer life compared to regular lithium-ion cells. On the imaging front, the Z TriFold could have a triple rear camera array and is rumored to offer 8K video recording at 30 frames per second. According to our latest poll on the Samsung TriFold phone, you people think this item should cost around $2,000 to be an enticing buy. I recognize that smartphones are growing more and more costly, and the $3,000 anticipated price for the Galaxy G Fold, the purported name for the TriFold, could sound high, but there are factors to be considered. But first, let's get up to speed those of you who are just hearing about this TriFold phone from Samsung. Rumors of Samsung working on a tri-folding phone started to appear around the announcement of Huawei's own triple folding design that ultimately developed into a mass-produced, market-available device, the Huawei Mate X-T. From the sheer overuse of the adjective unique, you can get a feel about this smartphone, and it appears Samsung feels so too, because the firm wants a taste of that cake. TM Rowe, Samsung's mobile business chief himself, said a few weeks ago, "We are working hard on a TriFold smartphone with the intention of launching it at the end of this year. We are presently focused on perfecting the product and its usage, but we have not selected its name. As the product nears completion, we are planning to make a final choice soon." This statement ignited a tremendous figurative fire of theories, rumors, and purported leaks. One of these set the price of the Samsung Galaxy G Fold at $4 million, or roughly $3,000. Compared to the recently introduced Galaxy Z Fold 7 and its $1,999 price tag, $1,000 for another fold of the screen might sound crazy. Why are tri-folding phones so expensive? There are several main factors. Let's not forget that the aforementioned Huawei Mate X-T launched at €3,499, about $3,660, highlighting several of those important factors. 1. Research and development. This one's clear for any unique and pioneering product out there, although others could argue that we've had foldables for quite some time now, and scaling from a single fold in the screen to a dual-hinged tablet should not be such a difficulty. While there's validity to that reasoning, things are not that straightforward. Samsung needs to create the Galaxy G Fold from scratch. It's not as simple as connecting another wing to the Z Fold 7. The 3 batteries inside must be developed independently. The hinge mechanisms are not the same as the ones used on a conventional fold, and the software necessary to power a device that folds 3 times also involves a lot of effort, some of it from the ground up. A tri-folding phone can look like a typical foldable with a bigger screen and one more hinge, but in fact it's an entirely distinct product. It's a sophisticated puzzle of components, split into 3 distinct housings and arranged carefully to work in synchronicity. 2. Exotic materials. The cost of materials is another apparent reason. Slapping a bigger flexible screen that folds in two places on a phone costs more, and utilizing two hinges instead of one also jacks up the cost. These two components are the most expensive ones on a foldable, as hinges require exotic materials such as liquid metal, titanium, or even some sophisticated alloys to make the finished result strong enough and light enough to be usable. The Huawei Mate X-T, for example, incorporates non-Newtonian fluid in its construction, paired with ultra-thin glass. Non-Newtonian fluids alter viscosity based on the force, or to put it simply, they can act like solids when impacted. Incorporating these unusual elements in a smartphone could be problematic, not just due to the sheer price of the respective materials, but also because working with them requires specific technology. Which takes me to the next reason. Low production volume. In order to make anything cheaper, one should mass produce it in volume. And in the case of the Galaxy Z Fold, this would need a huge initial investment, tweaking the factories and modifying the machineries and tooling processes to include the new design and all the R&D costs on top. Samsung reportedly won't take the risk of creating the Z Fold in enormous volume, as it's a completely new design for the corporation and prospective sales are a major uncertainty. So this initial expenditure will spread over a lesser amount of phones. Let's imagine Samsung invested $100 million in R&D and plans to build 10,000 copies of the Galaxy Z Fold. This means each unit will have an intrinsic $1,000 cost only from R&D. Add the material prices on top, the software and hardware licenses and patent levies, distribution, marketing, and ad expenditures. It all builds up. This is reflected in another remark from inside Samsung sources. We've had a TriFold for some time, designed and everything. So it's not a new concept to us. What we're disputing is the viability. When I say the viability, is there actually a need for this form factor? We are ready for it. We can put it into production, but to what purpose? That's what we're deeply investigating at the moment. Do we need a trifolding Galaxy, and are we prepared to pay the price? Well, reasons can explain the price of a thing, but won't make people buy it if it's too expensive for them. There are a number of questions we should ask ourselves before becoming too outraged about how costly the Galaxy Z Fold might or might not be. Do we really need trifolding phones in the first place? That's an excellent one. We're still not sure if we need conventional foldables, judging to the slow acceptance and sales, even if we're 7 generations in the game now. What does additional fold give us that a dual folding phone can't bring to the table? Trifolding phones fix a significant issue with folding phones, one that corporations have faced with generation after generation. Aspect ratio. A trifolding phone is close to a standard tablet in an unfolded position, which means media consumption is not awkward anymore. Regular foldables have these large black borders around a video no matter how you turn the device. Another huge benefit is that you can use a trifold as a standard foldable, should you choose to. There's no reason to unfold the whole thing. You could just flip one wing for some extra screen area if desired. This allows for greater flexibility while preserving the compact folded form factor. The price of invention. As Samsung indicated itself, the business is examining the advantages and cons of launching a trifold and will make a decision soon. If we want to have trifolding phones and reap the benefits of wider adoption, higher volumes, and costs falling down, we should kind of put up with the initial steep price of the first-gen product. If the Galaxy Z Fold sells well, odds are Samsung will study the design further, and it will make it out of the peculiar prototype phase in the future years. Of course, it's not simple to tell people, go and buy this $3,000 phone if you want the design to stick, but regrettably, this is how the economy works. Personally, I'm a big lover of the trifold design and find it far more functional than a standard foldable. Therefore, I hope folks who could afford the Galaxy Z Fold will buy it when, or if, it comes out. Then, a couple of generations down the line, we might obtain the $2,000 price tag you deemed fair in the first place. So, if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more exciting tech news and updates. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.